Barcelona wins la Copa del Rey, beating Real Madrid 3-2. Oh my god, youth suffering and one giant step towards the top, towards the treble. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome to a victorious match reaction. My goodness, that was one hell of a game. We deserve that. We deserve that. Honestly, we did it. Honestly, Real Madrid play a little bit better, but we came into this game, you know, showing guts, showing maturity, showing experience, and that showed up. And that for me is the most important thing. Barcelona learned how to suffer and we came out winning. We won this game fair and square. We won, hell I say it, dare I say it, Real Madrid style. We won it, we did it, we take the trophy home, and the treble continues. We continue with this amazing run, with this special group of players with Hansi Flick and everyone together. This looks like one hell of a team. Tonight, Barcelona didn't just win a trophy, they survived hell. They outplayed Real Madrid in some instances, in some others they got outplayed, and they proved something bigger when it mattered the most. When it mattered the most, they turned up. The kids, the superstars, they delivered. Pedri, Lamine, Cubarsí, everyone was insane. This wasn't luck, it was evolution. And you know what, guys, it all started with a lineup that nobody, I mean, probably some of you saw coming. I did, but most of you didn't. So no Lewandowski, no Valde, no luxury, just guts. You know, Gerard Martin and Ferran Torres came into the starting 11, and there was an early scare that maybe Ter Stegen could have played this game. However, we succeeded at the end of the day with what we wanted to put forward. You know what? This is our lineup. Hansi Flick went with Chesney, Kounde, Cubarsí, Íñigo Martínez, Gerard Martin, Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Rafinha, and Ferran Torres, whilst Real Madrid did what I said they would. And they went with Courtois, Lucas Vázquez, Asensio, Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Dani Ceballos, and Vinicius Jr. They did play Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. as the two strikers there with Bellingham in behind, and that honestly changed anything. I think if I had to define the way the Barcelona lineup today, I think this is the bravest lineup Barcelona has put out there in a final in a long time. In a very, very long time. We put out a very brave lineup. Gerard Martin, Ferran Torres, certainly players. We could have gone for someone like Ronald Araujo at the end. We saw what happened with Gerard Martin being taken out, Araujo coming in. At the end, that's what happened. No, Flick stuck to his guts. He went with Gerard Martin, he went for Ferran Torres, and boy, we started looking very, very good. In the side of Real Madrid came prepared. They went with all tools, new edge, you know. Madrid went back to basics, back to the 4-1-2-1-2 with Bellingham dominating early in the midfield. Madrid diamonds midfield choked Barcelona and really didn't let them build up anything, and it was much better than any of the other games we played this season. Bellingham was the most influential player in the pitch in the first half, in my opinion, and the best player overall for Real Madrid. Mbappé certainly came in the second half and changed everything up, but Bellingham within 30 minutes looked like a stellar midfielder. He looked like a guy that they had the first season and the player they signed from Borussia Dortmund. That's what Real Madrid wanted from their player, and that's what they got. Barcelona struggled a bit, like I said, building up when it came to that second half. However, I'm going all over the place, guys. I'm really going all over the place. In the first half, we looked good. You know, we looked good. But that's a battle I'm going to talk later on. I'm going to talk about the battle between the two midfielders a little bit later on when I start actually talking over the game. The first half, where Barcelona were the better team by far. Barcelona, I think, just dominated possession by minute, if I'm not wrong, minute 14, minute 15, Barcelona had 78% possession, which is complete domination. And Barcelona just couldn't break Real Madrid down. It was very clear that the plan for Ancelotti was going to sit back and defend and hit them on the counter. I was surprised that Rodrigo wasn't looking as fine. He wasn't looking as fast as Vinicius Jr. perhaps. Before, I would have anticipated both of them to be as equally as good, but they just weren't. And he took an interception from Cubarsí. An interception from Cubarsí onwards to Lamine Yamal. Sorry, onwards to Pedri. And then Pedri to the ball to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal assist to Pedri. And Pedri with a golazo. I mean, if the Ballon d'Or campaign for Pedri is gonna start, it's gonna start with this goal. That goal, I shouted, "Oh my God, Pedri!" I knew he had him. It was very similar to Iniesta's goal to Chelsea, the Iniestazo all the way back in the Stamford Bridge. It was an incredible goal by Pedri. That's what we needed from a player like that. Really good from Pedri. Oh my God, I love it. They're Barcelona's next dynasty, Barcelona's next three players, the pillars. They were all born in one single move. They were all born in one single move. They're already way better. And they are competing. We're talking about Lamine, Cubarsí, and Pedri, 18, 17, and 22 years of age. And they're competing with the best players in the world. You could make an argument for every of those three players, all those youngsters, that are the best in their position right now in the world. That's absolutely insane. So insane. However, one player I want to talk about, though, in this half is Gerard Martin. I think Gerard Martin was so good in this game. I think Gerard Martin at the start, I was really surprised. Forget the names, forget the star names, forget Rafinha. Tonight, he was the cleanest player in the Barca shirt for the first few minutes, really. Until he did that stupid ruthless tackle for the yellow card. He was really good, actually. He was building under pressure. Barcelona tend to play a lot under Gerard Martin, and he played a much better Clásico than I could say most of the half of Real Madrid players in that half, really. Gerard Martin, I don't know if he has earned his spot permanently for next season, but being as a first team rotation player, I don't know. We have to see, but certainly it's up there on the cards because of what he did today. He helped us win today in a very spectacular fashion, and I'm very happy that he had a good performance today, particularly for the haters, particularly for the critics. And I am one of those haters. I am one of the critics, you know what? And he had a good game. And I always like someone shutting my mouth. And fair play to Gerard Martin because he did it in the best way possible. So good on Gerard Martin. The first half, certainly, and the second as well, the entirety of the game, really. Not everything was perfect. Everything was smelling a little bit bad, I would say, early on. And this is because of the referee. We know the pressure already from the referee that really intimidated, the pressure from Real Madrid's TV and media machine really intimidated the referee. That's something really careful. And I'm here watching on my second screen right now how Ter Stegen and Ronald Araujo are lifting the trophy. Let's go. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for somebody to lift the trophy. I don't know what they're doing. Let's go. Hey, Ter Stegen and Ronald Araujo, they lift the trophy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 32 Copa del Rey for Barcelona. Doesn't that sound like a tremendous... Like I was saying, the referee was really influenced by a lot of the media machine for Real Madrid. There were certain calls, I think like 3 calls that were clear penalties. I can remember one. I guess the handball of Valverde for me wasn't a penalty. Then there was one of Ceballos pulling on Cubarsí on a corner. That for me is a penalty. Then I would say another one for me was the foul of Rudiger on Ferran Torres at the end of the game. That's another foul that for me should have been given. It wasn't, but it should have certainly been given. And then at the end of the day, we had the foul from Asensio on Rafinha, which I have to raise my hand and say that wasn't a foul. That was a dive from Rafinha. I do think it was a dive from Rafinha. But I don't really want to get too much into the referee's problem because at the end of the day, we won the game. You know what? We won it. Of course, it's a different discussion. If we didn't win it, we won it. So let's just be happy with what it is. We can let Real Madrid do their things later on. Oh my God! Why does everyone have little cup? That looks so cool. Everyone has they have the huge cup, and then everyone has their little cup, and they're celebrating with the little cup. Is that something that the federation gave them, or did the club organize that? Oh my God, so cute. The little cup. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Gabi with the cup. Oh, insane scene. But like I said, that first half, the goal from Pedri really. It was worth it. It was really worthy because Barcelona were having the better... Sorry, my voice is going. We're having the better first half. They really were having the better first half. But, I mean, Real Madrid, if they know how to play football, is because they know how to have the best players in the world. And that's what happened. Mbappé changed everything. You could just feel it coming that Barcelona needed to be more dangerous. They need to score more goals. The stadium could feel it. I could feel it in my place. It happened, you know. Mbappé, impact off the bench. He was constant danger. In 10 minutes, he already had 2 chances, equalizers. And even at 60%, Mbappé, you know, his gravity, aura, bends matches. And like it or not, he is, for me, the single most decisive player in the world to football right now at the moment. And even at half feet, he is, you know. He comes in clutch with a free goal, a very good goal. And he changed completely the image of Real Madrid. So fair play to Real Madrid. Fair play to mention that, because I do think that changed completely the game. However, later on in the game, after Tchouaméni also scored from a corner, and you could see it coming. You could see that Barcelona just weren't able to adapt to the game. This is where I wanted to mention that the diamond midfield from Real Madrid were really costing Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona right now were playing with Ferran Torres, who was knackered. You had Rafinha, you had Lamine, and then you had Fermín López, who came in for Dani Olmo that moment at that stage. You had Frankie de Jong, even he was taken off. You had Gavi, Pedri, you looked so fatigued. I mean, I'm really nervous about how this is going to affect our next game against Inter. Our players look devastated, and even with Valverde acting as a false back, Real Madrid just piled on the midfield. They really piled on the midfield. And sometimes football is more simple. Sometimes it's more simple because you just need to drop in a little bit deep, keep it compact, add another extra midfielder. And I think that taking off Dani Olmo was a mistake very early on. And we only got back into the game once we brought in Eric Garcia, which is a very interesting substitute, to be honest, to say that it was so vital for our game. But I think that's when we started to get better. Once we got Araujo in the team, once we got Eric Garcia. And that's when it happened, It happened. Barcelona didn't fold. They punched back. Ferran Torres scored to equalize. Direct play, incredible pass from Lamine Yamal, second assist of the game. And for all the memes, all the whatevers, Ferran Torres here comes in clutch, and he's still there for the big moments. We're talking about the shark baby, and he is officially redeemed. He's officially now redeemed. He's officially now a proper legend in the making for Barcelona. I love Ferran Torres, the way he has turned around this season, and he ends up La Copa del Rey as a top goal scorer. He ends the Copa del Rey as a top goal scorer. So he is an important, vital piece of what we wanted to construct here in one of our 3 trophies. In the first trophy we have this season, apart from the Supercopa, which I don't count that much, I'm counting the big trophy. Ferran Torres is already one of the highlights, the MVPs of the tournament. He even was called by the federation, the MVP of the game. So Ferran Torres, good on you. I think you had a good game, and you lived up to the okay. And then, of course, at the end, we had the penalty call by Rafinha, which I mentioned. It wasn't a penalty call. I think Rafinha was booked for diving. It was relentless once again, the pressure from Real Madrid, but whatnot, Barcelona need to survive the onslaught somehow, and just by doing that, you let time pass and whatnot, and you go into a time, and that's what happened. After all, the first half of the extra time, I think, was better for Real Madrid. We did have a lot of chances. I think it was very good from Fermín López, and even when everything seemed lost, we were going to penalties, and we just don't have any good penalty takers. It's Kounde. It's the defender who becomes the hero, the legend. Kounde's goal in extra time, Gavi's build-up, Pau Victor and Eric Garcia reinforcing the team. But that strike from Kounde was in. Kounde's goal might have just saved more than a trophy. I'm not kidding you. He might have just saved more than a trophy. He must have saved the entirety of this. Because Barcelona looked destroyed. He looked they looked so fatigued, so destroyed. And by that goal alone, everything can change. It just gives you that extra leash of life to go forward, to go and fight now for the Champions League. It goes ahead and gives you more energy for La Liga. It keeps you going. And that's what we want, right? That's what we need. And I'm just very happy. This isn't just a win. This is a statement. This is a moment to enjoy. Guys, enjoy this moment. Barcelona didn't just breathe. They told Europe, you know what? We are coming. We have youth impact. We have tactical resilience. We have mental. We have absolutely everything. Barcelona tonight, they weren't afraid of losing. And this isn't, I heard the reporter at the end asking Ferran Torres, is this the start of a new era? Baby, this is not a new era. This is already we're in the present. This is Barcelona now. So yeah, I think we officially, for everyone in Europe, have closed the cycle of chaos, and we're opening the door to. I really do think so, guys. Enjoy it. Live with this. Barcelona are champions of La Copa del Rey. We are really good. We are insane. I like the victory. It looks so good. Vamos, carajo, Vizca Barça. Let's go, baby. There are certain things that I'm just going through my head right now quickly from my notes. What are things that I need to mention? I don't like Lamine Yamal. Don't clip that. I don't like Lamine Yamal at the end of the full time. He was a little bit disconnected from the play, and I didn't like that. I didn't like how he was a little bit disconnected from the play. I would have hoped for him to be, fighting it out for the last few minutes. He then got back in. I think he got connected, so I'm very happy about it. Dani Olmo, Frankie de Jong didn't have the best of. They didn't have the. I'll be honest with you. Inigo Martinez is a total legend. He reminds me so much of. It's crazy, absolutely incredible. And once again, Gavi, Eric Garcia, Ronald Araujo, Fermín López, all the substitutes entered very good. And the more time it went through, the more solid we became. And I'm just happy that we caught. But I'm really happy. We Kounde with that goal. I'm gonna watch that goal time and time again. I didn't even get to watch it that much because I was celebrating. I was just celebrating. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me right now. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? We have Inter coming up next, and of course it's gonna be killing us for the games. Of course, this might actually be worse than we think for the future of the team, of the treble or whatever. But those, I don't know, this leash of life that gives you winning a trophy is just so important. Let's go further forward. Let's try and win this. Let's go ahead. Let's beat Inter. Vamos.